going on, guys? Welcome back. We got another tier list, and today we are going to be ranking all the Star Wars movies, TV shows. That's including, I think, animated TV shows as well. Been wanting to do this for a while. I want to put my rankings out there, but yeah, let's get straight into the rankings. All right, here we go. We got S for the best tier, A, B, C, D, F, Bantha Poodoo, and I haven't seen it. I think I've seen all of these except for maybe one or two, but I've seen pretty much most of these, most of the important ones. So that's all that really matters, to be honest. But starting off in, I think it's in, yeah, the movies are in order. So we're gonna start off with The Phantom Menace. Now, I kind of grew up on the prequel movies, so I might be a bit biased towards them in a way where if you grew up on the original trilogy, you'd probably be biased towards those movies. But The Phantom Menace really isn't as bad as everyone says it is. So I'd put it in okay. And I know a lot of people would put it straight in the bottom tier, but it's really not as bad as everyone says it is. There's a lot of like politics scenes and stuff that can be a bit drawn out and boring, but it was pretty good for what it was, uh, giving us a young Darth Vader. But number two, which I think is a little bit worse than um Phantom Menace, but I don't think it's as bad. I don't think it's, as horrible as people say. Like, yeah, the dialogue is bad. Some of it's pretty cringe if you look back and watch it now, but it's still a decent movie. I don't know if I can put it higher than Phantom Menace. I'll put it in not good because it is not the best, but it's also not the worst. So anyway, next, I don't care what anyone says. This is always number one for me. It's my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. It's probably my most rewatched one. It's just too good. The lightsaber duels was something else in this movie. It's the it's kind of the rise and fall of Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, and honestly, it was brilliant. Hayden Christensen never got the respect he deserves for this until now, but this movie was fantastic. The whole duel with Obi-Wan and Anakin, I think it was like a good 10-minute long duel as well, which was so good. And the way they like intertwined it with Yoda and Sidious's duel as well. It was just too good. This movie is perfection, honestly. Next, A New Hope. And now this is probably a bit controversial, but honestly, it's not good. I'll put it higher than uh, Clone War, Attack of the Clones, but I don't know. There's something about New Hope. It's just boring. It's kind of like, I don't know. It doesn't like back then when I watched it as a kid. It was good and entertaining. But now when I watch it now, it's just not it, man. Maybe it's just outdated, but I don't know. The story's just not it for me. Empire Strikes Back is our next one. Now this is going straight S tier. This movie is fantastic. It's another one like Revenge of the Sith. It's one of the best Star Wars movies of all time. Majority of people put this as number one, but for me it's number two. I can't put anything higher than Revenge of the Sith, so I'm sorry about that. Return of the Jedi is honestly in the same boat as A New Hope, but it's not as bad. I would say I'd put it in good. Um, I don't know. It's just not the best. It's all right. I think it was a little bit overrated, but it was a good movie. It's not bad, but it's good. It's decent. Um, Now The Force Awakens. Now we're getting into the new territory of bad movies. But this one, if this one came out and the other two didn't come out, maybe this could be higher. But honestly, it's a great movie. It's a bit controversial putting this over Return of the Jedi, but honestly, Force Awakens was a really good movie. I remember when it came out, I watched it in theaters. Fuck, Kylo Ren was fucking sick. I wish they did some things differently, like with Finn and Rey, but uh, honestly, this movie looked like it had so much potential for the next two ones, but it's unfortunate with the next one, The Last Jedi, which is obviously going straight in the bottom tier. I don't care. I did not enjoy this movie at all. I fucking hated it. If you say it's a good movie, you're wrong. I don't think this movie. I think this is probably the worst movie of all time. Uh, Worst Star Wars movie of all time. But honestly, watching this movie, it is still a pretty good movie. Like if it's not a Star Wars, if you take the Star Wars name off this movie, it's a pretty good movie. Um, but because it's a Star Wars movie, it's just bad. It's just terrible. Uh, Rise of Skywalker, honestly, I don't think it's as bad as The Last Jedi, but it's still pretty bad. It's still honestly bottom of not good D tier. It's just not it. Star Wars Visions, I can't say I haven't seen it. Uh, I think this is the Resistance one. I haven't seen it either. Andor, unfortunately, I haven't seen it. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, I believe this is the movie. Honestly, the movie was not that good. It was okay. I think I'll leave it in okay. It was an okay movie. It wasn't the best. Very campy, kiddie. And most of the Clone Wars, the TV show as well, was pretty campy, but I think the Clone Wars movie was just too much. I don't know, maybe I'll bump it down, but it's top of not good. But it wasn't the best, but it's what I think the order of this show and the movie was so confusing. I had to have a list to watch these episodes and movies in order because I don't think the movie even came first in chronological order. I think you had to like watch all of season one, then watch the movie, then watch some episodes of season two, then some episodes of season three. It was all a mess, but the movie was alright. The Mandalorian. Uh, Honestly, Mandalorian's such a good TV show. Honestly, I'll put it in S tier. I mean, all three seasons have been really good. It's not like I don't think it's had a bad season. Uh, the last two seasons were pretty cameo heavy, fan service heavy, but it was still pretty good. I mean, if they didn't have any cameos, I think a lot of people would have been disappointed. So honestly, it's still a very enjoyable series to watch. It's probably maybe the best TV show out of all these shows here, maybe. Um, we'll get to that in a bit, but we got Obi-Wan Kenobi, another show that got quite a bit of hate. Um, Honestly, it was a good show. I don't know if I could put it higher than good, but there was some really good stuff about it, like the Darth Vader and Obi-Wan fights and interactions were really good. They were really hype as well, which is, one thing, but I feel like had too much expectation. I think people these days with TV shows and movies have a way too high of an expectation, and when it doesn't happen, it gets really the movie or the show gets like dragged quite a bit because someone didn't show up or something they wanted didn't happen. But honestly, it was a decent show, pretty underrated if I'm being honest. I think it gets too much hate. Boba Fett, honestly, I wish it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty bad. It was pretty boring. There were some good episodes, like the first episode, the last episode. I think was pretty decent. Honestly, the episodes that just had cameos in them were probably the best. Like the Mandalorian one, the one where Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker were in was a good episode, but apart from that, it was pretty boring. There was some cool things about it, but I wouldn't rewatch it to be honest. The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is a great show. Honestly, I don't think I have finished the last few episodes for some reason. I don't know why I didn't get around to doing it, but the episode I did watch was really good. It was very entertaining. Uh, Animated shows are honestly elite. The Clone Wars, Bad Batch, they're such good shows, man. If you haven't watched them, you gotta watch them because they're better than live action shows. Which brings me to the Clone Wars, which is honestly straight to S tier. Such a good TV show. Binging this show was like the best thing ever. Them bringing out the extra season, season 7, was amazing. The way it intertwined with Revenge of the Sith before and after and during kind of Ahsoka's perspective of Order 66. It was really good. I loved the way they did it. I loved the entire show. There was a lot of boring episodes, like the Droid episodes, episodes with like Jar Jar Binks and C3PO. I don't know, they were boring episodes, but most of the show was so good, so entertaining. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out, and believe me, you're missing out on a lot. Solo, I've heard this is a decent movie, but unfortunately, I haven't watched it. I don't know why I haven't watched it. I'm like a big Star Wars fan. I haven't seen all the Star Wars shows and movies, but I don't know. I feel like it's a movie you can kind of skip. Like I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything by not watching Solo. Uh, Tales of the Jedi. I very much like this show. I think it was very good. I don't know what other people actually were thinking about this because I think after Bad Batch season 2 came out, I kind of got disconnected from Star Wars social media. So I kind of have no idea what people were thinking about Tales of the Jedi, to be honest, because I wasn't on like the side of Star Wars media and what people were like. I kind of stopped, watching a lot of stuff, news and stuff on Star Wars. So I don't know what people actually thought about this, but I liked it. If it's entertaining, I like it. So it's going up and great. Ahsoka, another one where I'm very disconnected from the social media, but I might be a bit biased. Ahsoka's my like favorite character, but this was such a great show. If you say it's a bad show, then you got problems because Ahsoka was like, I don't know, it was very entertaining. The the duels were pretty good. The characters were really good, like Baylan Skull and Shin Hati. They were good characters. Um, Ahsoka had good character development in the show as well. There were really good scenes, especially the scenes where Anakin. I think they were like hallucination scenes with Anakin back in the Clone Wars and stuff. That was really cool to see. We've been asking to see some, little bits of Clone Wars in live action, and we finally got that. Um, but in other words, Ahsoka, one of the best. If I was to rank these in order, I think I'd leave it like that. Maybe I think I put Clone Wars in front of Mandalorian and Mandalorian and Ahsoka. I think that's a good ranking right there. Think I'm happy with that. So that's my ranking. This looks good to me. If you like it, good job. If you don't, you don't. All right, so that's my ranking. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, follow for more content. If you like Star Wars stuff, you'll probably like this channel. I know I don't do a lot of Star Wars videos, but I might, if this does well, I might do some more Star Wars videos. Who knows? Um, but yeah, see you guys next time. Get out of here.